The date is 17 November 2015. I'm sitting here with Jim Hardcastle, who grew up in Alsuma, Oklahoma. What was it like living in Alsuma? What do you remember as a child?
Well, we were all basically poor, but none of us knew it. All of us were the same. We were in the same boat. We were barefooted and just ready to go do what we had to do back then.
What was the town like? Were there police services?
We had Tulsa County that would come out and take care of any of the problems that we had, basically. And the ambulance service was out of Broken Arrow. Mail service was out of Broken Arrow.
The town itself, what stores were there?
Well, there was one store when I was, I'd say probably up until I was probably 7, 8 years old. Bill Hilton's grocery, no gas at all. And then they moved in another little store which was owned by Milburn Shook. And then my uncle opened one, Hamilton Grocery. And Al Hull had a store and had the only one gas pump in town, and that was it. There was about 6 or 7 stores at the time.
And everybody shopped in there?
Didn't make any difference. I mean, back then, the town, everybody goes around saying that the town was separated by the railroad track. Well, it was not. It was not separated, segregated by the railroad track. People lived on both sides of the track, white and black, Indians, and we all lived together. And that was it. You shopped together, you worked together, and that was basically it.
And there was one school there. It was the
colored school.
Colored school.
Yes, sir. And then when they went, the whites were not allowed to go to school there. And then I don't know whether the 6th or the 8th grade, when you graduated out of there, which I believe was the 8th, then they bust them into Booker T. Washington in Tulsa. And we went to Union Consolidated School.
And after school, everybody played together?
There was a playground there at the color school. You could play there. The biggest majority of us would play over on the railroad tracks because there was always some boxcars or something over there that we could climb on and go through there. And the colored kids or the white kids or whoever, there wasn't anything else to play except up and down the middle of the road, which was an old dirt road. Main drag was east and west. Actually, it was 47th or 47th place, whatever they call it, but it was 47th, what we call it. It run about maybe 5 blocks, and that was about it, the length of it.
Now, were there many cars, trucks, or?
Well, if you were rich enough to have a car, boy, you were lucky. My dad had an old 1935 Chevrolet 1-ton truck. That was about it for us. That was our only transportation. Not many people had cars.
So that's why only one gas station in town.
Yeah, and then, like I say, then the warehouse market was there at 11th and Yale in Tulsa, and everybody get on the back of that old truck maybe once a week or every other week or whatever it took, and maybe 10, 12 families would jump on there and go into town and buy what necessities they had to have and then come back out. And I'm talking about the big necessities, that flour, coffee, and stuff like that.
With the town water, your father used that truck for water?
We had a 500-gallon tank that we'd slide it off on a rack when we needed it just for a flatbed. But when we had water haul, we'd roll it on the back of that truck, go to the county farm, which was located there. It's now LaFortune Park. That was the closest water that we had. Basically, no wells was there in Alsuma, no rural water, no running water. It was all barrels. And my dad hauled water and filled those 55-gallon barrels. He had a 500-gallon tank, and my mother would be there sitting when I'd get in school with a load of water, and we'd take it out and get rid of it and go back and get another load.
Get rid of it, you mean sell it? 50 cents a barrel, you mentioned,
yep,
a 55-gallon barrel.
That's what we got.
And when did the rural water come in?
Late 40s. Walter Bowers, who was a caretaker at the Memorial Park Cemetery at that time, he decided, he and my dad and a bunch of them had got together and got some backing, and they decided that they would run that water into Alsuma, and they had to come up off Memorial to get the water, to lay the pipe to come down into Alsuma, which was at 40, I don't know where it was at on 41st, I mean on Memorial, between 31st, 41st or somewhere in that area, but they hooked in the city water at that time and run it out there, and we run the water in.